A tumor without its own blood supply can never grow past the size of a pinhead. That's the hard limit. No blood vessels means no oxygen, no nutrients, and the tumor stays frozen in place. But the second blood vessels reach that microscopic cluster of cells and start feeding it, things change fast. A pinhead-sized cancer can multiply 16,000 times in just 2 weeks. That explosive switch happens when the body's blood vessel growth process gets hijacked, and it's a field called tumor angiogenesis. This is actually where my whole journey in this area began. We set out to build drugs that could cut off a tumor's blood supply and starve it. That research succeeded, and it's now one of the pillars of modern cancer treatment. But here's the part that really surprised us. When we ran ordinary foods through those same lab tests, we found over 100 of them that can do the same blood supply cutting job naturally. Back when this research was new, we were testing potential cancer drugs that worked by choking off a tumor's blood vessels. One day, almost as an experiment, green tea got dropped into the test system, and the effect was startling. The polyphenols in green tea blocked those feeding blood vessels just as powerfully as a lab-made compound. In fact, if the lab technician hadn't been told it was a plant extract, if they'd been told it came from a pharmaceutical company instead, they'd have been thrilled. That's how strong nature's own chemistry can be. EGCG, the key polyphenol in green tea, is one example. Resveratrol, found in red wine, is another ARS, also strongly anti-angiogenic. Genistein, the plant estrogen in soy, can also starve breast cancer by cutting its blood supply, which is the exact opposite of the rumor that soy is harmful. There was even a magazine cover recently claiming soy is full of anti-nutrients, which is misleading. Most of soy's nutrients, including its proteins and plant estrogens, are beneficial. And importantly, soy's phytoestrogens don't resemble human estrogen at all. They're not dangerous. They actually block human estrogen receptors and behave in an anti-angiogenic way, cutting blood flow to breast tumors, something that's been confirmed in actual breast cancer patients. Tomatoes bring lycopene to the table. Over and over, the same plant-based foods we already know are healthy turn out to be loaded with compounds that starve tumors by blocking their blood vessel growth. Blueberries get their blue color from a natural pigment called anthocyanin. These pigments are powerful, healthy activators of the immune system. They don't trigger autoimmune issues, but they do boost T cells and natural killer cells, essentially arming your body's defense forces. Eating about a cup and a half of blueberries daily can raise T cell levels by roughly 88%. Athletes who eat blueberries regularly tend to walk around with naturally higher immunity. It's less of a performance booster and more of a performance maintainer, keeping the immune system running at full strength. Interestingly, that same anthocyanin pigment also lowers inflammation, solving what feels like a contradiction in wellness circles. People want less inflammation but stronger immunity. The truth is, inflammation is just one piece of the immune system, and you can dial it down while still strengthening your defenses overall. Blueberries manage to do both. Broccoli is another immune booster, thanks to a compound family called sulforaphane, which also gives broccoli and kale, chard, and other greens their distinctive flavor. Eating broccoli has been shown to raise T cell counts. Here's a useful tip. The stems actually contain twice as much sulforaphane as the florets, so don't toss them. Blend them into a soup with some vegetable stock and oregano for a simple, tasty way to use the whole vegetable. For an even bigger sulforaphane boost, try broccoli sprouts, the 3 to 4 day old baby plants, which contain up to 100 times more sulforaphane than mature broccoli. In one study, healthy 20-year-olds who drank a broccoli sprout shake alongside their flu vaccine saw their immune response amplified by 22 times, a major immune boost without extra inflammation. Most people resist being told what to avoid. Tell someone don't, and their instinct is often to do it anyway. Deprivation rarely works long-term. Rather than focusing on what to remove from a diet, the typical fear and guilt approach to nutrition advice, a more effective strategy is empowerment, helping people feel good about what they already enjoy eating. Out of roughly 200 foods known to activate the body's natural health defenses, most people can find several they genuinely like. Starting there, with foods you already enjoy, means you're already ahead, and you can keep building from that foundation. The idea is simple. Focus more on adding good things to your plate than on subtracting bad ones. The 5 core health defenses: angiogenesis control, stem cell regulation, microbiome health, DNA protection, and immunity work like a shield. So when you occasionally slip and eat something less healthy, your body still has backup. Strict, rigid diets tend to fail over time because they're unsustainable. Feeling in control while still enjoying food is more sustainable. Kiwis are a great example. Small, fuzzy brown on the outside, vivid green with a starburst seed pattern inside. They're rich in vitamin C and fiber. The vitamin C delivers strong antioxidant protection for your DNA. Eating 1 kiwi a day can reduce DNA damage by about 60%, and eating 3 a day may help repair already damaged DNA by a similar margin. Kiwis are also packed with fiber, acting as a natural prebiotic that feeds gut bacteria. A study from Singapore found that eating even just 1 kiwi can shift gut microbiome composition toward healthier bacterial species within a day. Once you know that, it's hard to look at a kiwi the same way again. It becomes an easy, tasty habit that quietly supports your health every time you reach for one.